Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, froggy again. Why is my voice always weird in the mornings? There we go. Good morning. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, it is my birthday. It's my birthday week. I do a whole week of my birthday, okay? But today is my actual birthday, yes. Lunar New Year of the Snake is starting. It's an Aquarius new moon. All the things. Is my birthday today or February the 5th? It's today. It's today. But I'm taking February the 5th off. I normally take my birthday off. Every year. I don't work on my birthday. But I'm having next week off because I'm going to see David Tennant in Macbeth at the cinema. So instead of taking this week off, I'm having Wednesday next week. Yes, I am a January Aquarian. Thank you. Oh, who's here? Morning, Helen, Susan, Moonbeam, Maria. Maria's got her Witchy Wednesday mug out in honour of our revamp of Witchy Wednesdays. Ellie, Ink, Deb, Sherry. Morning. Morning. The David. Yes, we're going to see the David in the Macbeth. The Scotsman in the Scottish play. Yes. It's really funny because I've just been scrolling through my newsfeed, and there's all pictures of Harrison Ford doing whiskey things in the Highlands with a kilt. And I'm like, oh, I see what you're trying to do, Glenmorangie. You're trying to get the whole "we've got a handsome older man too" vibe. But the other guys had David Tennant in a kilt for a UK campaign. I'm sorry, but Harrison Ford's lovely. He is. He's a lovely man. But we have David Tennant. No. Anyway. I mean, if you're going to do an advert for Scottish whiskey with a voiceover and a very prominent actor in a kilt, wouldn't you go for someone who's like, I don't know, Scottish, maybe? Instead of a big Hollywood star? I mean, I feel like they got pipped at the post there. I do. I mean, if that was the first campaign and nobody else had done it, that would be like, okay, Harrison Ford, advertising whiskey, okay, in a kilt. Fair enough. But second place. The end. For those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Romany. This is RhomanysRealm. And we do a bit of all sorts of stuff with paper and pens and paints and things. You'll drink whatever David tells you to. Sounds like you're on the Kool-Aid. But, you know, he's a Scotsman. He likes his whiskey. If he says it's good whiskey, I'm prepared to believe him. You know? Anyway. Today, we are relaunching Witchy Wednesday. Back in the day, I used to do Witchy Wednesdays where I'd do bits in my book of shadows. We'd talk about all sorts of witchy or astrology or tarot related stuff. We'd do a bit of journaling, and I used to do a lot of unboxings, but there's no pagan boxes going on that I've seen. If there are, and you're UK based, by all means reach out to me and say hi. Love a good unboxing, me. But I haven't really seen any. I'm assuming they kind of died off during COVID. But hopefully somebody will bring one back somewhere. We'll see. I am on the search for one. If anybody sees a UK-based pagan subscription box, hit me up. Send me the link. Let me know, because I'm always up for adding to the stash. I mean, seeing what people are offering in subscription boxes. I evaluate them so you don't have to. That's not true. I like to look at what people are offering in subscription boxes and see what's out there. And especially, and this is a big one for me, and one of the reasons I used to like crafting magic back in the day is because a lot of stuff is always the basics all over again, isn't it? It's always, ooh, let's start with an amethyst. You're like, I've got like 9 of those. Can I have something else, please? I liked crafting magic because they used to do a spell box, which was for more advanced practitioners. And then they did a basics box, which was just people who wanted to increase their stash, basically. But it was always interesting stuff, and they didn't just stick to the basics. But the spell boxes, of course, were more advanced. So they had interesting stuff in them. Ex-Mormon. Mormons, that's Latter-day Saints, isn't it? You're used to the Kool-Aid. Yeah. Witchy Wednesdays is back, yeah. Let's get going, shall we? So, let's switch the camera around. And now, what I'm trying to do, and I think I explained this before, but sorry about the glare. Let's open my book so that you're not getting glare. What I'm trying to do is integrate my Patreon and my YouTube and my Twitch and my, eventually, you heard this here first, members only on YouTube, all together so that we can, there's different stages and you can pick what stage you want to work at. So, like yesterday, me and my patrons went over all the astrology and everything for the Lunar New Year. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. This is my, well, it's kind of turned into a witchy planner now. It's not just astrology and tarot, but whatever. So we went over all this with the basic information for what the astrological alignments are on the words are hard. Let's try that again. We went through the astrological alignments for the Lunar New Year. Remember, in technically the New Year lasts for 3 days, or the new moon. Not the New Year. The new moon lasts for 3 days, and to make it clear, I don't really do the Chinese side of stuff. I'm not an Eastern astrologer. I don't do any links with Eastern traditions or anything. Because it is the Lunar New Year, and that is primarily linked with Asian countries and especially China, I will of course put the symbols for the wood snake, because for me that's important to know culturally what is that in somewhere else and what does it stand for. But we very much concentrated on interpreting the year of the snake in Western culture. So we looked at what the snake means in Celtic culture, what wood means in Western witchiness, for the want of a better word, paganism. What's the word? I don't know. What word's going to get me banned from YouTube? Let's not use that one. We also used, we did a tarot reading for it, but we also integrated the fact that Imbolc is coming up. And I have this gorgeous deck. There's a whole series of these. They're fantastic. Seasons of the Witch, Imbolc Oracle by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. It's illustrated by Tiana Lukovic. And you can see the illustrations are gorgeous. But, you know, we're a bit basic here, and we like the shiny blue. It's got shiny blue edges, okay? Yes, the illustrations are pretty. Yes, it's a lovely deck. Yes, there's a whole series of them. But dude, look at the shiny blue edges. Sit down, Ro. Your Aquarius is showing. But, you know, this is a very special time of year for me. This is my new year. This is when I was born. This is my... the start of my new year, because I tend to hibernate in January. January, baby, tend to be asleep. Not ready to be born until later in the month. I'm an astrologer, I'm a tarot reader, I'm a practicing witch. I like to do all this stuff and integrate it together. Does that mean that I'm not interested in learning about Chinese culture in terms of the Lunar New Year? Kind of. I don't want to learn about Eastern astrology or Chinese astrology or anything like that. Not because I'm not interested in it, but because I simply don't have time. I'm busy learning about Western stuff. It's an ongoing thing. I've been studying it for like 25 years plus. Oh, longer than that now. Almost 30 years. I keep forgetting how far into... When did it become 2025 instead of 2021? How did that happen? The 90s are 10 years ago, guys. I've been a practicing witch for a long time. I've been reading tarot since I was a kid. I'm in my 50s. As of today, I'm mid-50s. We'll say that fast and slow and mumble it. So I like to integrate everything together rather than just going, oh, today we're going to learn about the New Year of the Snake, according to China. That's not how I practice, and I don't want to put out printables that are teaching you about Chinese New Year of the Wood Snake when A, I don't really know about Chinese New Year of the Wood Snake, and B, nothing I can tell you is anything that you can't look up on Google. I would rather show you how I practice and integrate things, and how you take things that are all things that you already know or already do or already are familiar with, and pull them together to make a more cohesive whole in your practice. That's what I do, okay? So that's what we did. We concentrated on what the snake is in Western culture. Specifically, the snake, interestingly enough, is the sign of Brigid. And Brigid is the goddess of Imbolc. Are you seeing a connection here? We saw so many connections through this. This was over on Patreon yesterday. If you're interested in learning this kind of stuff, come over to Patreon. It's the $10 tier. Pen and Paper Pals. Pen and Paper Pups. Pen and Paper Pups, not Pen and Paper Pals. So we did the deep dive yesterday. This is going to inform what I put on the printable. You guys get to see me work on the printable itself. At least the artwork for the printable, because I am not a digital girl. I don't want to do it digitally. I hate digital. I hate working digitally. I want to play with paint. So I'm going to work on actual pieces of paper and then clean it up digitally afterwards so it's a decent printable. But I've already done the background and research for it. Today I need to design the printable and start doing the artwork for it. Tomorrow is the midweek check-in, so we'll do a midweek check-in on planning, and then we'll finish off this. And then last Saturday we also did a prep session for the art club over on Patreon, drawing snakes, which did not go well. Snakes are hard. What I did learn is that you have to be very careful about what references you use. So I've got some better references today. They're all from Pixabay, which is a free site. I do donate to creators that I borrow images from, but it's copyright free. So we're going to stick with that. And then I need to have this information available so that I know what I want to put on there. And then figure out how that's going to fit on the page. Now, I did say that I was going to use my Moleskine notebooks. I've got some Moleskine A4 and A5. But then I remembered I had this, which is mixed media paper, which is white, which I prefer for doing printables and things. It's A4 exactly, which is much easier for making printables because my printables are A4. You can resize them to other sizes, but my printables are A4. But also it's smooth paper. It's buttery smooth. It's Clairefontaine super smooth paper. I am not somebody who enjoys using bubbly paper. And the Hey Tyler. Thank you. I am not someone who enjoys working on cold pressed paper because I write on it. If you write on stuff, you don't want to use cold pressed paper. It's awful. Your pen skips and it's nasty and no. I also don't like colouring pencil on rough paper either. But I found this paper and I thought, well, I'll use this. It'll make it easier to... Let's put it in that way. It'll make it easier to scan, for a start. It's also got square edges. Moleskines don't have square edges, which can be a little bit of a nuisance sometimes. Okay, so I need that for my... Sorry about the glare. I need that for my reference photos. Now, I normally would use my... This is what I would use my studio journal for. This is where I design stuff and put things together and figure out what I'm going to do. However, since I also want to do a page for the new year in here, modding on the move. Oof. Okay. Modding on the move. She's mobile. Mobile mod. Yeah, normally I would do it in here, but I also want to do a page for the snake in this journal, in my regular journal that we was working in yesterday. We was working in? Woo. Where did that come from? I was working in yesterday. So I think I'm going to use a page in here because I want to do some snakes in here as well. So why not, right? Has this page got anything stuck on it? Because if I use anything watercolory or anything, yes, it has. So let's skip a page. I don't want to get anything unstuck. Oh, this is a nice central page as well, which is good. So it'll stay nice and flat. So I'm going to try and get the snakes in here so that I can trace them onto the white paper, and then I will do the designing of the actual printable in my other book. So, where are my pictures? I'm having a day where I can't recognise icons. It's very strange. So I've got two pictures. Warning, content warning, snakes coming up, but I picked cute ones. Snakes about to be on camera. Look away if you don't like snakes. Hubby's joining you for a coffee. Ah, oh, hi Kelly. Thank you. Snakes are hard. Yeah, snakes are hard. Hi Catherine, working and lurking. So this is a blue viper, and he happens to be wrapped around a snake, which I think is a really good reference for a wood snake, right? Again, this is from Pixabay. And then I've also got this guy, because I love his markings. And he's cute. He's smiling, look. How can you not like that? So I didn't go for the kind of evil snakes. I've gone for the nice, kind of calm, pretty, nice snake. I love snakes too. I do love snakes too. Okay, but in the interests of not scaring people, because I know there are people who have... Oh, I wrote the word down the other day. There's a word for it. What was the word for it? It begins with an O. It's like a clodophobia or something like that. That's not the right word, but it's similar to that. That's fear of snakes. But in the interests of not having people who are scared of snakes turning off the stream, and I am still showing pictures of snakes for those who are listening with their eyes closed, these are the two references I'm going to be using. I will attach them to the Patreon post, the public Patreon post. Ophidiophobia, thank you. I knew it was something like that. I just couldn't get the f's and does in the right order. Yes, ophidiophobia is a fear of snakes. I do not have a fear of snakes. I love snakes. They're beautiful. But these are the two references. For those who are interested in having a go yourself, I will put them on the Patreon post, the public Patreon post, as attachments, so they don't come up when you view the post. And I am now taking it off screen. So I'm going to do this one first, the blue one. Then I'm going to work on this one afterwards. I'm thinking generally that I'm going to have this one poking his head down across the top left of the page, and then this one coming up from the bottom right. That's how I'm picturing it in my head, and then I'll fit the information around it. But first I've got to do the references. Okay, so snacks are now off camera. Those of you who had your eyes closed can now look back again. We're safe. You're only going to see me sketching. Yes, I am sketching snakes, but you know, people tend to not be so worried about sketches of snakes as I mean, some people are, but like me, a picture of a monkey doesn't bother me. An illustration of a monkey doesn't bother me, but actual monkeys, no. Okay, let's find a pencil that will show up on camera. Let's use my red and blue pencil. Now this pencil doesn't erase, but I like it because I can use one colour for... Hi Lindy! Oh, Lindy and Sean. Hi! I like this one because I can do light sketches in the red and then firm it up with the blue, and then it's easier to trace it onto paper. Let's give it a sharpen. I can't stand unsharpened pencils. Oh, I had an actual sharpened one over there I could have used, but never mind. Little Raven Ink. She laughs at me because whenever I watch one of her videos, you can guarantee that her pencils are run down to nubs, and she's virtually colouring with the wood. And I'm like, for God's sake, sharpen your pencils, woman! Anyway, right. I'm not going to worry about putting this on a slant today because I'm looking at it on camera as well, so I'll be able to see if it's slightly off. What I want to do is, let's see. If I have this one here, he's going to be about that big. And if I have this one over here, he's going to be sort of that big. So let's draw kind of that and that. And then I can use that to design my page on here. I'm going to have to prop this up because I can't actually see my picture. So there we go. Now you can't see it, but I can. Okay. At work in and out. Yep, fine. Working and lurking. We like our workers and lurkers. Oh, did I just dribble coffee down my face? Yes. Yes, I did. Okay, let's start with the difficult one first, shall we? So, he's kind of a triangular shape, so I'm going to use a regular pencil first, just to put in... So we've got a tree branch, and then we've got... Hold on. Let me bring this down a bit, so you can kind of see what I'm working on. There we go. Sorry, that's going to be in my face now, but I can't do anything about that. And then we've got his head here, and he's a noodly boy. Goes around there, he comes around here, he comes That way he noodles back across here. He comes around, he's noodly there, he's a noodly boy there. Doo-dee-doo. Dooby-doo. Oh, that's... Oh, come on. Hand. Work. Thank you. He goes off the page a bit, and then his tail comes back up here and wraps underneath. Like that. Okay. So let's tidy that up. Where's my pencil case gone? Oh, there it is. Oh, I can't see chat because my camera's in the way. There we go. I'll have to put that there, move that across, and then angle it over here so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. Okay, what is going on there? That should be meeting that there. So that actually should be a bit further down. Let's get rid of the bits that we know we're not going to want. Okay, so he's coming around there, and then he's big around here. Okay. Sorry, I'm just guesstimating where I need him on the page, then I'm going to actually sketch him. So all I'm doing at the moment is mapping out in erasable pencil where I want to put him, because the red is not erasable. Which means you have to think about what you're doing a lot more, but I do like to have a map of where I'm going initially. Okay. So you should be able to see this now because I'm going to be sketching in red. So we've got, I'm going to leave the tree trunk till last, I think. Let's get his head and things in first. So his head is kind of around here somewhere. And then we've got two bits of body here. And he kind of loops back around himself over there and comes back out again here. And he's curved. And then this bit is coming up and around. You can see the muscle down his back there. And then we're around here, and this is kind of curved around as well. But this is rounded here, so you can't see what's underneath. So you can't see the coil coming back. So the coil is coming back around over here to just shy of where his eye is. And then it kind of shadows back. This part of his body is actually quite chunky. I might have done that a little bit too. Oh no, it's this bit. That's okay. This is the inside coil. This is the flat part. And then this is his body. Okay. It's not too bad. Making him a little bit chunkier than he actually is. But who's going to look at it and go, that's not the shape of a viper? Who? Who's going to look at it and say that? Nobody. That's who's going to say it. Except maybe somebody who works with vipers and knows what a blue viper looks like. You know, nobody's going to care. It just looks like a snake. It's an illustration. It's not meant to be a exact copy and replica. If I wanted the exact replica, I'd do it digitally. I'd buy the photo and I'd just stick the photo in, right? So he's got kind of a angular part here, which is interesting. This is shading in here. You can't really see this coil, but you can see this coil coming back around. and then it comes to the wood, so it's actually this part that comes across and around, because that's the flat part. And then he's got quite an angle there where his body turns around at the bottom. You can see the flat part there as well. And there's that muscle coming down the back, which will essentially look like a shadow once it's painted. Now this bit's a little bit tricky because I've got to get his tail popping back up under there. So let's get the tail in first. There we go. I might actually change this a little bit and have it looping round so we can see that it's part of his tail. Sometimes for a photo reference, it works for a photo reference, but when you try to draw it, it just looks weird. So I may try to kind of coil this bit around so you can see that it's still part of the snake. I might even make this bit a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker. Like that, and maybe we'll have his tail coming out like that. I'll have to reference a tail end from somewhere else, but maybe we'll have his tail coming out like that, just to kind of give him that full swoop, because that's not on the photo. Body shot only, no head. So that's what his bottom bit looks like, which is fine for a photo. Photo's gone. It's fine for a photo, but it doesn't quite look right when you're trying to draw it. It looks a little bit weird. So, yeah, let's have it like that. I think that looks better, actually, having a little more suggestion of where his body's actually going. Because we don't need this bit, but it does help to have that little bit. Okay, we've got the shadow of his underbelly here again. And then the tree branch is like that. And it's literally just a straight branch, but it's a straight branch, but it's slightly bent. Nice. Excellent explanation. Well done, Ro. It's a very slightly curved branch with no extra bits on it, except ye olde snake. Let's move that little bit of intersection a bit so that they don't T-bone. And then the same down here. I don't want that to meet there, so let's see. Let's move that to there. And then this can come down here. And then there is a little bit of a knobble on the branch, and it goes off down there. So we'll do that. There we go. And then this side, we can just about see the branch here. And we can't really see the branch down here. Let's do kind of a bit of a gap where the branch is bending a little bit there. A little bit of daylight there. That should work. Okay. So let's get back up to this head. So we've got a body coming out this way. And you've got that band across his neck. Then we've got a bit of band and the belly here. So it curves out and then in and then out and then in and then his head. So he's quite wiggly at the top. And that's what I'm trying to capture. So we're going to put this bit in here. This is his other curve coming out. And then the back of his head is kind of pointed almost, because we're getting that kink in the neck. So we're not getting the head like that, we're getting the head doing that. So we've got that kink is the wrist. You see what I mean? So this is not supposed to be a tutorial, by the way, but I'm in teacher mode. I can't help it. The minute I start drawing, I snap into teacher mode. It's like I have to explain what I'm doing. Actually, I'm just talking about what's going on in my head and what decisions I'm making as I do it, but maybe me wittering is helpful, I don't know. I quite like it when artists explain the thought process behind what they're doing, but... Okay, so his head, the middle of his head comes in here, and then he's got a bulge for his eye, which is going to be about there. Let's make that a bit more rounded so he doesn't look angry. He's cute, we don't want to make him look angry. Although, honestly, most snakes look a little bit pissed off. Even the cute ones look a little bit like, look, don't mess with me, okay? I'm a noodle. I'm a danger noodle, don't mess. Okay, so we've got his nose coming around. Quite a sharp, pointy nose, actually, because he's a viper. And we've got his mouth coming up. That's about where his mouth is going to be, actually. And it comes right back here. We'll give him a little smiley face, because it's an illustration. We can do that. And then we've got his tongue coming out like that. And that's creating a bit of a shadow there. So his tongue is kind of like that. That's not what it looks like on the photo. The photo, it just looks like a really fuzzy thing, but snakes have a forked tongue. It's not that hard to figure out what it should look like if it wasn't moving. It's maybe a little bit long, actually. I think maybe I'll make that just a tad shorter. Snakes, of course, flick their tongue in order to taste the air, because apparently they can't see forward. I learned that yesterday in our little trip down looking at snakes. Snakes cannot see forward because their eyes are on the side of their head and they can't turn their eyes that way. But they can see kind of that much and behind them. Fascinating. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with him. Let's put his nostril in. There's a big black diamond shape there. Do I like his nose that shape? Yeah, kind of do. He's got his little eyebrow there. He's a little bit more pointy here, and he's got kind of a shape there. I'm liking the eye. He looks cute. Let's give him a little bit more of a smile line there, so he looks cuter. Yeah, I think I'm all right with that. I like him. Oh, it's awake. It's awake. It is risen. Well, it's out of bed. Whether it's awake or not is another matter. Okay, so let's get some better, firmer lines in here for what I want it to, the bits that I want to words trace. Now, oh, don't come for me in the comments, okay? Don't be doing that. Tracing is not bad if you're tracing your own work, or if you're tracing a, you know, trace a portrait to get the right proportions so it actually looks like somebody, and then sketch over the top of it in order to learn how to do it. You know? There's nothing wrong with tracing if you're doing it for the right reasons. Don't trace other people's work and then try to claim it as your own. That's bad. But trace other people's work to study how they do it. Trace your own drawings to improve how they look. If you go to a tattoo artist studio and watch how they create a design, you'll see them with like a little pad, usually 3 or 4 pieces of paper in their fingers, and they're flicking up and down, up and over a photo, especially if they're trying to get a likeness, or it might be a rough design like this, and they're flicking up and down, and they're doing, like, trying to see what they're actually getting right and what needs adjusting, until they get to the final design and they put it onto the transfer paper. That's how you design stuff. Tracing paper is not bad. You just have to use it for the right purposes. It's like anything else. If you use it for evil... So I'm trying to get much smoother lines on the outside of him now than I had originally. It's almost like inking, but not really. We'll also do this tree branch where it's snapped off, make that look a bit more realistic-ish, or at least a bit more like a tree branch. Not have a crisscross there. There we go. Hi, Miss Maddie. Hi, baby. You're up. Are you awake? I can see that you're up, but you're not awake, are you? Oh my goodness me. She's like, I had a really good nap and I don't know what day it is or what my name is. Who am I? What am I? And what year is it? We no longer ask who's the president. that's a banned question now. She used to wake up and say, "Who am I? What am I? And who's the president?" We don't say that anymore. We don't want to know the answer. Ugh. Oh, sticky eye. You've got a sticky eye, my love. It's all right. Yeah, you clean your sticky eyes. It's fine. Yeah. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Somebody on Throne, thank you very much. It's anonymous, so I don't know who did it. But somebody bought a load of treats for Maddie on Throne. So thank you very much. Those are arriving tomorrow, apparently. Miss Maddie's getting treats for my birthday. Which is as it should be. I mean, come on. Maddie's up, yeah. Maddie's a late riser. Average dogs, unless they're working dogs, hyperactive types like collies or huskies or whatever, average dogs sleep 10 to 16 hours a day. Senior dogs sleep up to 20 hours a day, and I can confirm. The appropriate question now is, has it changed yet? Yes. Do we have a new president yet? Is he gone yet? I've had to turn off the news from the US on my phone. I've swapped it to just I used to have international news. Now I've just swapped it to UK and Europe because I can't handle it. I get news rage. Okay. This actually, I am going to put a little bit of a curve in there and then join that there. Okay. Trying to keep his outer coils nice and smooth. I need to look at what his tail is going to look like. Sorry if my head's in the way momentarily while we're... Because my camera is so close, it's possible that if I get down here, my head will be in the way of the camera. I apologise for that, but if I'm down here looking at my paper, I can't see what my camera's doing, and then when I look up, my head's moved. So it's not in the way anymore. So I can't tell if my head's in the way. So I'm sorry if my head ends up in the way at some point. You'll have to let me know if it's really annoying, and I do. News is just like, what fresh hell is this? Yeah, what fresh hell is happening in the US today? Yes. And it's too much. I can't... because I think for me, part of the issue is because we're doing the whole 80 years of the Holocaust thing. So, of course, I'm in Europe. It's a huge thing. And we've got the Holocaust stuff. We've got people talking about the history and how it happened and how all this. And then you're watching it in real time over there. And I'm like... If I didn't trace, I wouldn't even try to draw. I mean, if you only draw for yourself and you're not trying to be a professional artist, who cares? You know, if you're only drawing for yourself, trace away. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. You've unsubscribed from US news altogether. Yeah. Well, I have. I saw the state of the US and I went, unsubscribe. I've officially unsubscribed from the US. I've also started unsubscribing from people on Instagram who are overly political. Not because I don't want to hear it, not because I'm trying to stick my head in the sand or anything else, but just because I can't handle it at the moment. I'm processing, okay? A Cancer moon. I need some time to process because I have feelings. Once I've processed, I can, and the shock has worn off of it all, and the thing that makes your voice go really high and you go, what the fuck? You do what? You know, once I get over that stage, I will be able to reintegrate people that I enjoy following who are informative, and I will unhide them. I haven't unfollowed anybody. I've hidden some people on my feed because they're on a royal rant, which all things to them. Excellent. Go for it. Good for you. Especially if you're actually in the US and standing up for yourself. Good for you. But I can't handle it right now. So, yeah, when I've processed, I will filter in the people who are actually educating things rather than just ranting. But until then, I didn't add it to the permanent list because it wasn't in my book. See, I wrote it on a post-it note, so I added it, and then I didn't write it in my book. I was going to add. Yesterday, I mentioned Stevie Broxton. Stevie's Safe Space. I did put the link in yesterday's video, but I forgot to add it to my auto thing on the videos. I am going to put that as a permanent link in my auto things. And I'm going to add that to my description, my auto description. I want to update my description anyway, because these days nobody cares what camera you're using. Like 5 years ago, everybody wanted to know what camera you were using, what lighting are you using, how do you do this, how do you do that. Everybody now is just like, I film on my phone, what are you talking about? So I can take all that information out, and I can replace it with, this is a safe space, and if you want to support somebody who regularly gives to charity that supports people and is LGBTQ, part of the LGBTQ alphabet community themselves and everything else, then here's where to go. Because I like his t-shirts, I like his designs, and I've got myself a few with my birthday money to wear on stream, because I can and I want to. There you go. I explained this yesterday. I don't know why I'm repeating myself, but I need to put it in the actual description. Permanent description. The permanent description is the thing that auto attaches to all your videos, so you don't have to keep going back and adding it. Switching to TV watching and won't be in chat, but we'll be listening. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to be in chat. We don't mind people not being in chat. Working and lurking, or cleaning and lurking, or listening and lurking is all fine. You do you. Okay, let me find out what I need to find a picture of a blue viper. I will not put the picture on screen. Ooh, I've got package details coming in at me from all sorts. The downside of your birthday: all the newsletters that wish you happy birthday from things that you didn't even know you were still subscribed to, and constant notifications. This has just left the depot. This is out for delivery. This is going to be with you tomorrow. I'm like, can you just surprise me when you get here? Okay, just stop telling me. Just surprise me when you get here. The Alphabet Mafia. Excellent. Yes, I'm part of the Alphabet Mafia myself, so I like Alphabet Mafia. That's cool. I like that. What am I looking for? Blue viper, tail, photo. Here we go. So what do their tails look like? I suspect they're just kind of thin. Oh, okay. Blue viper, also known as an insular pit viper, has a pink stripe on its tail. I did not know that. Okay. So his tail is actually going to be... It's a lot thinner. I'm going to curve it round that way like this one is. It goes a lot thinner and longer than I thought it would. Like that. And it's got a whole section. The end is pink. This whole section coming up here and then tailing off like that is pink. How cute. I'll very quickly show the picture, so if you don't want to see a noodle tail, look away now. See how cool is that? A big pink end and a stripe on it. Very cool. Picture gone. Okay, so I'm going to download that so I've got it in for the colour references. So a blue viper is also known as a white-lipped viper or an insular pit viper, depending on where it lives. Presumably the insular pit viper lives in a pit on an island somewhere. Hence the insular pit part. Okay, so this is going to come down like that. All right. Like that. And then I'm just going to put in this area here so I know where the shading has to be for that bit coming up there. And on this one, so that I know what that is, I'm just going to colour it in, because this is the template for it. So all of this is going to be red. And all the way down there. There we go. There's our snake. He's cute. He's cute. He came out cute. I like him. I'm not sure about the tongue. The tongue is a bit weird. And I need to get some more volume in this bit. This is odd as well. I need to get a bit more. I think he needs to be a bit more of that shape there. But you know, this, like I say, this is the template. There we go. That's better. He looks a bit chunkier there now. Alrighty. Yeah, he's cute. I like him. Not sure about the tongue. The tongue is a bit odd. Let's do this guy over here. So again, I'm going to just roughly put him in. Okay, so his head is going to be about there. I'm not sure what kind of snake this is. It looks like a python, maybe. He's like really wrapped up around himself. And he's huge. The big belly. The big chunky coils. I suppose with the body and muscles that big, he might be a constrictor of some kind. But he's beautiful. Okay, let's see. My paper's sliding about a bit. Hi Chris, thank you. For those just joining us, hello, welcome. Witchy Wednesday is back. Today we're doing a page for Chinese New Year of the Snake. Well, Lunar New Year of the Snake. We're not doing the Chinese bit really, but Lunar New Year of the Snake. I'm designing a printable, but first off I need to do the snaky bits. Hello, Miss Maddie. Miss Maddie is awake. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness. Do you need to go for a wee? Yeah? She needs to go for a wee, guys. 2-minute break. I need coffee. She needs a wee. We'll be right back. Hold that thought. We are back. We're back. Hi, Kate. Hi, Jane. Thank you. Oh, belly rub for Miss Maddie. Miss Maddie's gone back to bed. It's a bit chilly this morning. She's like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm going back to bed, Mum. It's your birthday. Okay, let's get on with this guy. He's actually a little bit further along here than I thought. So his nose looks like Sir Hiss. I love him. The shape of his nose here looks like Sir Hiss, who is obviously the best snake ever. We're all agreed on that, right? Ooh, where did that come from? Oh, that's the triangle I put in earlier. Okay. This is catching under my arm, so let's just clip that down out of the way so it doesn't. There we go. Alrighty. It's kind of an optical illusion, this guy, and it's making my eyes go a bit weird, honestly. Kind of like that. I don't know, he seems a bit... Doesn't quite seem right. His head seems more diamond shaped than I've drawn it. He still looks like he's smiling though. Let's see, where are we looking at the head? So the head is about that shape, so the eye is about there. About that size. He doesn't look right, but it is right. It is right. Oh, that looks better. Okay, that doesn't come quite as far back as I've drawn it. That's better. Okay, and then we've got this kind of shape here. That's the jawline. He looks weird, I don't like it. Okay, this is the trouble I had the other day with this particular shape of head. It's a very weird shape to try and draw. Okay, so that's there, that's a shadow there. He's got another bit of body up here. That is, yeah, it's almost curling. I think that curls round like that. He's got these really cool markings that almost look like wolf faces. Look, never noticed that. Look, they almost look like a wolf's face. How interesting. And then we've got kind of a weird thing with an eye, and a weird beaky thing with an eye, and that must be a baby chick, because then we've got a little one over here with an eye. And then that goes up and around there and over his eye and onto his nose, and then that comes back up here. And then that black bit joins there, comes up across here under his eye, onto his nose. He's got little circles along his snoot. Little black mark. Little black mark under his jaw. This bit kind of comes down not quite to his belly, so let's redraw that bit. Same with these bits, they're kind of not quite to his belly. We've got a bit there, got another bit up here, then this bit is dark up here. Okay, he looks better now he's got some markings. Let me see. I've drawn the head the right size, actually. It just looks a little odd. He doesn't look so odd once you give him an eye. He's got kind of a black mark down here that goes to his lip. Okay, he looks better now. Not as bad as it originally appeared. So let's get his shape in now. So he is really smooth. Like every surface is completely smooth. You can't see any of his scales sticking up anywhere or anything like that. Whereas this guy has quite a lot of texture. This guy has scales, but you can't see. You can't really see where they are. And he doesn't have that pointy thing around his eye either. Let's see, this is going across here and under there. There isn't a gap there, it actually looks like it's a big shadow, it's contact shadow. Okay. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. He looks better now. So we got this mark coming down off this eye, crosses his mouth there, and there's his mouth coming along there. That's the jawline. He's got a little bit of yellow up here. He's got yellow up there. This big patch of colour. Okay. And then there's his eye. He's got this big patch of black there and across there. So then is that all black there? There's a kind of a browny bit there. Okay. And we've got a black patch and a black patch and a black patch. And no black patch there. He's got a yellow patch there. Black patches. Okay. Without the markings, he was a worm. Yes. Yes. Snake heads are very difficult to draw. If you do them in the wrong colour, or if you do them without the markings, they can be very weird indeed. But now he looks like a snake. I'm kind of happy with those two. I think they're cool. So now we can put the pictures away. And we can trace these guys onto that page, because I already know where I want them to be. Tracing paper. I know where I have tracing paper. Come on. Tracing paper. Nope, that's wax paper. Tracing paper, tracing paper. Here we go. There's some tracing paper. Hi, baby. I hear you. Hello. Belly rubs from Maddie. Stage 1 of the adventure complete. Coffee and all-day breakfast. Ooh, all-day breakfast sandwich. I could murder one of those right now. Yes. All-day breakfast sandwich. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, let's get this guy traced over here. I'm not going to trace his tongue because there's something odd about his tongue. I want to revisit that, I think. Let's use that as the corner of the page, so I don't have to redraw that. I love the face on this one. He looks really cute. So I'm going to try and be as accurate as I can, getting the pencil lines on where I've drawn them, because we did a good job there. We did. Okay. So the start of the tongue. We'll just do the start of the tongue and then we'll play with the tongue a little bit more in a minute. Got this coil here, that coil up there, I probably should have tucked this under the page, that would have been easier. Hi, Miss Maddie. Hi, I hear you. Hello, Baba. Hi. Goodness me. Do you want some attention, Mum? Hey? Come here. Do you want attention? No, she says. I just wanted to moan at you. Okay. That's all that one. I'm concentrating, can you tell? The new breakfast sandwich from Costa's nice. Unfortunately, we don't have a Costa anywhere near us. There's one in town, but it's not the town I'm in. It's the bigger town up the road that we go to that's not the city. If that makes sense. But that's the only one there is, which is a good 30-minute bus ride away. The one I used to go to was 2.5 minutes drive because it was a drive-through, but it's drive-through only. You literally can't even go up to the window and ask for something. They will say no. Maddie, hey. What are we singing about? Why are we singing, love? Whatever it is, I can't do anything about it right at this moment. Picked a really bad time. You can't want to go out. You literally just went out. Oh, you might want to go out again. Okay. Can you hold on 2 minutes while I finish this? You'll try, but you're not promising anything, okay? I know, I hear you. It's a terrible life you've got, but just give me a sec, yeah? I literally can't stop what I'm doing right this second. Give me a moment. Oh, goodness me. I know, I hear you. Okay. All right. Sorry. Maddie's stopped play. Back in a sec. Oops. There we go. We're back. I've literally just opened the door for her. And she's just come back in. She didn't want to go out at all. She just wanted to moan. I swear she forgets that she's just been out. She has a rough life, yeah. Very rough life. Yeah, it's drive-through only. It's very annoying. They don't even have a thing where you can order it, because they used to have some where you, even if it was drive-through, you could order online and then you could go up to a separate window and pick it up. Applying for jobs and attending interviews left, right and centre for 6 weeks. Oof. Just had a job offer. Start on Monday. Oh! Fantastic! Oh, that's awesome. Does that mean you'll be part of the zombie crew now? Are you gonna be moving from chat squirrel to zombie crew? Okay. So those I'll finish off later. That can be my playtime later because I'm taking the afternoon off. not really off, but I'm doing stuff for me instead of work. Which is mostly doing art things. Sorry, wandered away from camera to go and get this. It's transfer paper. 1800. Six. Oh, what, you start at 6? Or you're working till 6? Alrighty. So you can just scribble on the back of this stuff and do it that way. But I want to just do it the easy way. Plus this yellow paper, it doesn't leave as much mark on the page. Which makes it a bit easier to colour with watercolour over the top. So I'm just going to get him where I want him. And off we go. Do I want to stick him down? No, because it messes up this paper, I remember. Okay, so I want a nice crisp line, so I'm going to use a pen. £6 p.m. finish. Oh, 6 till 6. Oh, that's a long day. 12-hour shift, crikey. You're not like standing up all that time, are you, or something? That's madness. Scribble. There we go. This pen isn't working very well. I'm not loving it. The advantage of using transfer paper for this is that if I want to change anything as I go, I don't have to follow the lines, so I can change things as I go. Or I can follow the lines exactly. Operations manager, so sitting down, thankfully. Oh, 4 days on, 4 days off. Oh, that's not so bad. It's 4-4-12s. That's, I was going to say, that sounds like NHS to me. You can commiserate with Jane. Okay. So that's what it looks like once it's transferred. So it's nice and it's easy to see, but it's easy to cover up with you know, the stuff. What's it called? Paint. There we go. Okay. Let's make life easier for ourselves. Take that bit off. So this guy is going to sit here, right up at the top. Maybe even have him coming down out of the corner. What do we think of that? Actually, yeah, because then we can fit the title in more easily. Okay, let's do that. Maddie, baby, the door's open. The door is open, you can go out. Stop moaning at me. I know, I love you too. You're a lovely girl. But the door's open and you can go out. Okay. That's him transferred. And then just for the sake of completeness, she's an old page on here. Just for the sake of completeness for this traced piece, I'm just going to go over his lines on here, on the bit that I didn't actually use in the piece, because he looks better going off the page. because this will now go in my studio journal with that one. Can go back in there. You two can go in there. You can go in the back of there. Okay. This paper gets a bit rough and ready around the edges, so I'm going to use some vellum tape to stick down these corners, which annoyingly means I'm going to have a white line, but better a white line than scruffy edges. Although, what am I talking about? I'm scanning it anyway. It's just going to be... Yeah, I don't need to worry about the edges. I'm scanning it. You have matrons, you don't mess with them. Yeah, you don't mess with the matron of a ward. The doctors think they're in charge of the wards, but they're not. The doctors are not in charge of the wards. The matrons are in charge of the wards. Okay. Let's get some colour on this here thing, shall we? Move it up a bit so you can see the colour process a bit better. I'm just going to be painting the snakes for now. I will worry about the rest of it later. But the rest of it will just be deciding where I want the word blocks to be, and where I want the titles to be, and the word art, and then painting a background and then putting the word art over the top. So that's all it'll be. It's a wood snake, so I'll probably do them in kind of earthy colours, because wood, right? Chinese New Year, traditionally you always do red, because that's the colour that they associate with New Year. But these are wood snakes, so I'm going to go with blues and greens. And this is a blue viper, but I'm still going to put him on the greeny side because he'll look better for the purposes of our demonstration. Okay. Alrighty. Whoops. Let's start with this guy up here. I think I'll do his gold bits first, because he's got a beautiful gold colours that are going to be... I mean, of course we're going to use quinacridone gold for that, aren't we? Why would we use anything else? Quin gold for his goldy bits. That's what we're doing. This brush might be a little bit big, but we'll see. So, you know what? I'm just going to do all of him gold to begin with. And this this particular transfer paper does have a bit of a wax resist, which is handy because you can see the markings. And if I remember correctly, his eye is kind of an aqua blue colour. And I'll probably come in on some of this with either some gouache or some colour pencil, just to, you know, oomph the colour a little bit. Because I'm more of an illustrator than a realistic painter. I like realistic painting, but I prefer to do things like this, like an illustration. I do both, but this is an illustration. Shut up, just paint. Okay. And then this guy, it's going to be kind of a bluey green colour, so I think I'm going to go with these two colours on my palette, and I'm just going to mix them together. See what that gives us. Kind of a bluey green colour. Okay. The blue's a little stronger, so let's mix it down into more green. And we'll make him a bluey green colour. There we go. A bit more of that spring green. And a bit of that cerulean blue. And a little bit of that ultramarine. And he's kind of a bluey green colour. There we go. That's what we want. Let's just get those colours on. And I think his eye is kind of a bluey colour as well. Which is interesting, because when I think of snakes, I always think they've got yellow eyes, but these have both got bluey kind of eyes. It's a bit strange, isn't it? Barking at leaves falling in China again. This is really nice paper to work on. This is the Clairefontaine mixed media paper. I think it's called All. I don't know, I'll have a look in a minute. It's very white and it's very smooth and it's quite thick. So it works very well. What's it called? Paint On. Paint On Multi-Technique. It's not really mixed media paper, but you can use any medium on it. So as far as I'm concerned, that means it's mixed media. Don't forget the pink tail. Yes, that's why I put the shading in there, so that I would remember to do the pink tail. But thank you for the reminder. Because if anybody was going to forget to do the pink tail, me. Me, that's who would forget to do the pink tail. Oh, I don't know where my... Oh, it's in the wash. It's in the wash, okay. We're drying our brush on our sleeve then. It's watercolour at wash out. Jane, you raised your kids right, I tell you. One a horse race trainer in France and the other is a falconer. I mean... Gen X raising the non-9-to-5ers, am I right? Okay. So I've got a first layer of colour down. I'm happy with that. Let's get a first layer of colour on this wood. I'm just going to do a very light wash of brown, just so that we can see where the wood is and where the snake is, and we don't accidentally colour one the other colour and da-da-da. I'll just initially do it all the same colour, because I do use gouache as well, so I might come in with pencil or gouache or pen or whatever and go over this bit or the snakes. You never know which technique you're going to use. Well, I don't anyway. That's why I like mixed media, because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't plan this stuff, okay? I go with whatever seems like a good idea at the time. But when I'm doing something like this is not experimental work, okay? So I'm not going to be like, ooh, let's see what happens if I do this. That's not the place for this. The place for that is in my sketchbook. And I do that in my sketchbook a lot. But, you know, if I want to experiment, then I will use the tracing, trace it into my sketchbook and go and play over there with all sorts of different things. I should be, I mean, in theory I should do colour compositions and all that kind of stuff for this. See what I want to do, what media do I want to use, etc. But I'm just not like that. I like to work intuitively. That's what works best for me. I can tend to overthink it if I over practice. Finished uni studying zoology, so animals, not humans. Ah, excellent. Son's training to be a mechanic. Yeah. It's interesting that how many young people are not going for office jobs anymore. They don't want to be office workers anymore. They want to be out working the land. They want to be working with animals. They want to be out in the fresh air. They want to be up moving and physical. And I think that's great. I do. I'm not one of those people. I'm quite happy sitting here painting, thank you. But I think it's great that there's so many youngsters starting to go back to that. I need a smaller paintbrush, but not that small. Can I have a smaller paintbrush, but not that small? There we go. A smaller one, but not that small. Okay. Let's do... I'm going to use this pink colour that I already have. It's kind of a pinky mauve. And mix it with this reddish colour to get kind of a rosy pink. We don't want pink pink. We want rosy pink. So let's add some of that to some of that. Yeah, that's a nice colour. I like that. So we'll put his... No, we use some of the paint up off our brush first. Perfect. Exactly the colour I wanted. A nice rosy pink. I feel like my head's probably in the way. I'm sorry if it is, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing. I know you need to be able to see what I'm doing as well, but you can see what I'm doing in a minute when I've done it, alright? Unless my head's not in the way. But I can't tell if my head's in the way, because if I move my head to see if my head's in the way, then my head won't be in the way. Here endeth the lesson. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. In my younger days, I would have been able to look sideways at the monitor and see if I was in frame, or if my head was in the way or whatever. But I can't do that anymore because I have to wear glasses. So I can't even see my computer if I look sideways at it. I'm not in the way, all good. Excellent, thank you for that. That's good. So I know I don't need to worry about it then. This tongue is kind of bothering me. I don't know if I might get rid of it completely, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, that doesn't look too bad now. Okay. Right, they've both got very pale greyish blue eyes, and I have a colour here, I believe. This is the one. Or is it that one? It might be that one. Nope, that's Shadow Violet. One of these is kind of a silvery colour. That's dark. There it is. It's that one. It's kind of a silvery, shadowy, kind of purpley grey colour. It's really pretty. And I think this will work for the eyes. Might need a tiny bit of blue in there, but I think that's going to work. Let's turn this upside down so we can do this one without getting our hands in the paint. There we go. So that's how he's looking now. Cute, right? I think I could put a little bit of pale blue in there actually. I think that would work. Just a tiny bit of very, very pale blue. Just to cool the eye down just a tiny bit and give it a bit of kind of a gradient, I don't know, colour. There we go. That's nice. I like that. Okay. We're getting there. What time are we on? 3 o'clock almost. But it's a Wednesday, so I can overrun on a Wednesday because I don't have a second session. Until I start doing mini classes. Mini class sessions will be on a Wednesday because it's the only day I've got free to run a class at 5. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more darker, a little darker green in here. I'm going to use this malachite colour, which I love. Mix it with the green I've already got, and then that will give me, it doesn't exactly granulate. That's the word I was looking for. It doesn't granulate, it kind of separates into different colours. Oh, obligatory dog hair. So I'm going to put some of this colour along his back and where his shaded areas are. I might have forgotten I was on camera. I'm concentrating. Stage 2 complete. Oh, we're running errands today. Brave the madness of Dunelm Milne. And have storage baskets. Woohoo! Operation Hallway is almost complete. We're putting storage baskets in the hallway for storing stuff that is currently sitting on the floor in the hallway. Is that where we're up to? Close. The stuff is currently in falling apart plastic shopping bags cluttering up the bottom of the wardrobe. Same. Same. Pizza. Pizza. See you, Catherine. Once again, I've drawn a dodgy looking skin coloured snake. No, I haven't. He's green. How's that dodgy looking skin colour? He's green. He's literally green. Pizza dough is easy. Even I can make it. I don't know what the words to this song is, but it sounds like we should have a bonfire. Look up on the page. Not quite getting you. I like the eye. I'm going to leave the eye that colour. I'm not going to add any more to it because I think it's light enough. I'm going to come back in on this with pencil to do his markings and things. The wood will probably be easier in either pencil or gouache. So let's go look at this goldy coloured one. He needs some, I think we need to put his dark markings in first. They should be black, but I don't want to put them in black. So I'm going to put them in kind of a Payne's grey colour first, with maybe a touch of brown in it, just to make it a little bit darker. There we go. That's a good colour. I like that. Let's start off with that. Oh yeah, perfect. This snake has Be More Dog vibes with his little husky face down here. Okay, don't get too close to the page, you can't see what you're doing. Okay, which bit is the dark bit? I'm going to have to start at the nose and work back, I think, because I can't figure out which bit is dark and which bit is light. So... I think I'll switch to a smaller brush for this part. That is not a smaller brush, and that one is too small. I want a medium-sized smaller brush. There we go. You'll work. Dog hair. Okay, so that I know that this bit by his eye, this bit is definitely black, so I should be able to do it from there. Ooh, this black isn't as... Well, maybe I just didn't mix it well enough. Oh, there we go. Too close to the paper. Sit up. Okay. We're getting there. Oh, I've just dropped a thingy on the floor. I don't know, maybe it's something that's on camera, but I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go for kind of a mid-brown with a bit of ochre in it for the wood, just to pump up the colour a bit and kind of mix the two, bring these colours down here, as it were. But I will mostly do this probably either with pen or pencil. So it's just a base layer. Okay. See you later, Jane. Right. So I can't do any more on this now because that has to dry. This paper is really good for mixed media because it absorbs water really well. But that means it takes a while to dry because it's so thick. rid of the grubby fingerprints. Okay. So I think this snake is mostly done. He needs some pencil. This guy, I feel like he could be more golden. I feel like he could do with a little bit more gold in his midsection. So let's do that. Let's add some more gold in this area, because he's looking a bit pale. I don't want him to look pale. And although his markings are very distinct, they do kind of merge and blend into each other, so it's a good idea for this bit to overlap a little bit. It's a healthier looking colour. Let's add some more onto this edge, just to, I don't really want to blend it out. He has scales that kind of interlock, so I don't want a perfectly straight edge. There we go, that's better. This area is a lot paler, so I'm just going to put a line there. Oh, he's pretty. What colour's that supposed to be? I need to check my picture. Where's my... That bit should be... Oh, this bit should be a lot whiter. Okay, I can put that. That's supposed to be gold. In there. And the bit above it should be a lot whiter, but I can do that with pencil. I don't need to come in and start lifting watercolour or anything like that. I can put some more white shading into here, and I can punch up the colour at the top. To give it a bit more contrast. So this actually should have come only down to about here. Let's use that same pink, that dark pink that we used for the tail over there for his little I don't know, he's got little hole things along the edge of his snoot. I don't know what they are or what they're called or anything else, but he's got 4 of them just here. Like that. There we go. Okay, now I'm thinking that the eyes need just a little bit more blue in them. Let's do this one first because it's drier. There we go. That's better. Got ID'd at 40. I still get ID'd now. There's some places like Tesco will ask everybody. You could be a 90-year-old little old lady and they'd still ask you for ID before they'll sell you a bottle of whiskey. It's crazy. They just have a blanket thing of ask for ID before you sell alcohol. But, I mean, I thought I'd grown out of looking like a teenager. I still get mistaken for my 30s, unfortunately, which is not always a good thing. It means people tend to talk down to you. Okay, I think I've got the snakes where I want them to be, which means I can take them off the paper now because it's almost off anyway. So we've got, that's our, I think he's a python. He might be a python, I'm not sure. This one is a viper. I've made him green, he should be blue, but he's a wood viper, so I've gone for earthy tones. So the next step will be to go in with some colour pencils and darken up areas and smooth out the shading and add some scaling and things like that. And then I may or may not decide to add black outlines. I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm not sure. Do you prefer black outlines or just like this? I mean, I'm going to do background, so... But first I need to decide where I'm going to put boxes and where those boxes are going to be. So what I might do is scan this once it's dry. Scan this as it is right now. And then digitally play about with where I want the boxes to be. Rather than trying to draw it on paper. Because that way I can exactly get them where I want them to be. And figure out how much space I need. But for right now, I think I'm done with these guys. So we'll finish this off tomorrow. Let's take a pic for the thumbnail. There we go. Sorry, it was one of those where I had to get back and then zoom in order to get it to look right. Yeah, so we'll let that dry. We'll scan it. I'll play around with some, you know, where I want the designs to be and stuff like that for the boxes. And then tomorrow I can finish off the colour on this. And get to putting some information on it, hopefully. Probably for the original, this is the plan. I think what I'll do is, once the boxes and the background are in, and the basic layout is done, I will scan it again. And then I will try both putting the wording in digitally and writing the words in on the paper. Because sometimes it looks better written in by hand on the paper, and sometimes it looks better written in by hand digitally. So for me, I might prefer the hand-drawn one, but other people might prefer to be able to read the writing more clearly. So we'll see. Either way, it will be handwritten because that's how I do stuff. I don't like typing things out. If you want the typed versions, then you want to be on Patreon because they get the typed up notes to do with as they will. So just for comparison, I'm going to show the snakes again. So if you don't like the snakes, don't look. There will be a photo any second. So there's that one. You can see I've got all this texturing to put in. That's easier to do with pencil. And then the other one is there. I'm happier with this one. I love the coiling. I think he looks really good. Okay, photos are gone. And I think that's it for today. We've overrun significantly, but hey, it's Wednesday. We're allowed to do that on a Wednesday. Thanks for joining me, guys, for my birthday stream and the start of Witchy Wednesday coming back. Woohoo! And I will see you all again tomorrow, 1 o'clock, same time, same place. Midweek check-in, catching up on the planner midweek, and then working some more on this. I'll probably work some more on this afternoon as well, because although it is work, I love just sitting painting, and that's my jam. So that's kind of an afternoon off for me, is just sitting painting because I want to paint, as opposed to sitting painting because I have to sit and be on stream and do stuff. There's a subtle difference, but there's a difference. All right. Thank you very much, Ink. Yeah, the rest of the day will involve... I made a vegan chocolate cake. We're moving pizza night to tonight instead of Friday. You know, all that kind of stuff. So, thanks for joining me, guys, and see you all again soon. Bye.